Hi and welcome to The Economy Today. This is our first video, and I've got here Nicola Hayes, which has been just appointed as Managing Director of the European Data Center Association. Hi Nicola, congratulations for your...
Thank you.
Can you explain what the European Data Center Association is, just to start with?
It's a not-for-profit association that was established several years ago under Belgian Royal Charter. It's been around for a few years, and its mission is to represent the interests of data centres, commercial data centre operators across Europe.
So why do you think the EUDCA needed you at this time and age?
I think the time had come, certainly from a political standpoint, with everything that's going on across Europe, with the industry being in such a constant change of flux. They asked me to take on the role of Managing Director, mainly to have an outside influence within the organisation to manage the day-to-day running. Obviously the people who sit on the executive committee and the board are all very senior individuals within very large companies and are fantastic at giving up their time to actually help move the association forward, but it needed somebody there from outside of a data centre operator to actually help to run everything and to grow the organisation as well.
So you need the insight of someone with the expertise in the data centre space to actually come in and sort the house.
And the independence as well. So obviously any form of industry association is consisted of companies that are natural competitors to each other, and it's fantastic when they can all work together for a single aim. But having somebody that sits outside of an operator to be there to keep an eye on how things are going just keeps everybody a bit happier.
But how has the association changed over the last few months? So what actually made them change this much?
Well, there have been quite a few changes going on. So it has had a change of chairman. So Apostolos Kakos, who is CEO of the Greek data centre operator Lambda Helix, has taken over as chairman. We now have Equinix on board as a member, so together with Digital Realty and Interaction, the three largest pan-European operators are all members of the association. And there have been a few new additions to the board as well. There's a really good mix on the board of people who've been involved for some time and new people coming in to now give their expertise and to help grow the association and to help it to fulfill its objectives.
So first of all, I don't know if you can talk about the specific applications that Equinix and Digital Realty offer to the associations. What do they do? How do you work with these members?
Well, the size and business models of all the different operators across Europe can vary widely. So a lot of operators are small and have either a regional or national presence. And then, of course, you've got the large companies, the Digitals and Equinix and Interactions, who have pan-European footprints. And one of the important things we felt is to try and meet the needs of all of those. So having Equinix and Interaction and Digital on board means that we get expertise from people who are used to seeing their businesses at a pan-European level rather than a national or local, but they're also very aware of helping push forward a voice and a meeting place and networking opportunities for the smaller operators and having that space there. The people who are on the board, Michael Winterson from Equinix in particular, have got absolutely fantastic portfolios of expertise within the industry, and it'll be great to be working with them over the next couple of years.
So, and you just become the managing director of all this massive association. What's your job going to be? What are you going to be doing over the next few years?
I'm going to be responsible for pretty much the day-to-day running of the organisation, making sure that its aims and objectives are fully communicated to members and the wider industry, ensuring that they get fulfilled, making sure that the committees that are being set up to deal with individual focus areas for the association are managed and have timely meetings, and in essence to bring everything together to actually just functionally run it and make sure it grows and make sure that the interests of the wider data centre community are being met.
So bring down the silos and make one big industry, a nice industry for the future.
That's the idea.
And then, so you mentioned Equinix, Digital Realty, the big ones. Who else can join the association? So who are the members?
It's open to commercial data centre operators across Europe, and that's Europe as a continent. It also has membership open to certain vendors within the space, but it's one of the objectives that we have that is very important to us as an association is to work very closely with national trade associations on a national level. So some countries have very, very successful political trade associations representing data centres. Tech UK in the UK has been fabulous with its political lobbying and making sure that the data centre industry is heard. Some countries have very, very strong commercial representation. Host in Ireland's one, the Nord Pole in the Scandinavian countries. But some countries don't have any political representation or commercial representation at all. And I think it's really important that there is somewhere in a body that can work closely with the national trade associations to make sure that we're supporting them in their objectives locally and nationally, but also to have a voice for those companies that maybe don't have such a strong voice at either a political or a commercial level.
And how do you interact with those associations? I don't know if you're just going to be working with European associations, or are you also looking to work with North American associations, Asian associations?
The idea is to represent Europe outside of Europe as well. So obviously there'll be a very European focus, but one of the objectives is to make sure that our members are represented outside of our territory, so making sure that we have a voice in Asia, making sure that we have a voice in North America, in Latin America, and working with the associations and industry bodies over there that also have similar aims. The whole industry is so globalised now that it's very difficult to separate one from the other, so it's important to work with all of them. But the primary focus will be Europe and the European trade associations in the short term, but long term a wider focus and wider cooperation.
How are you going to expand across Europe and other European markets, especially the Eastern European market, the Nordics market, Turkey, all those sort of places?
Well, it's a European data centre association, so the whole focus is on Europe, and that includes the Eastern European countries. It includes some of the Scandinavian countries, and of course all of the typical markets that everybody hears about, with UK, France, Germany, Spain. I think there's probably a wider acknowledgement and recognition of the association within some of the more major and matured markets. So we'll have a very strong focus on going out and explaining the benefits of membership, explaining what the association's about, out to places in Eastern Europe, in Central Europe, and to some of the smaller markets. I think it's probably as important, if not more so, for those companies to have a voice that they might not necessarily have otherwise.
What's your overview of the industry at the moment today, taking into account all the things that have happened over the last few months with all the M&As, the European Commission getting involved, everything? What's your industry overview?
It's really in a state of flux, and that's been happening for years and years and years and years. However, at the moment, with political climates all changing, with things that are going on a wider level outside of the data center industry, as well as the internal things like the mergers and acquisitions, the American companies looking to come over, and the amount of companies looking to buy companies across Europe to get a foothold here, as well as technological advances and changes. Enterprise end user who fuel the market, their needs are changing, they're becoming more aware, their purchasing patterns are changing. So it's, for an operator, even of a large scale, it's very difficult to try and keep up with all of the changes that are going on, but it makes it exciting, and it means that we have this industry that is phenomenally successful, is great to work in, is truly international, and is only going to become more so.
Okay, thank you, Nicola. Thank you for speaking to us. You can follow Data Economy on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Thank you very much.